Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Tuesday evening, September 3, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video, and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons during the path of these tropical systems so we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below, let me know what that's been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. We can see that they're still monitoring that area of disturbed weather in the Caribbean that now has a low chance of development, a 30% chance, so it's back down to a code yellow in the Western Caribbean or the Southern Gulf of Mexico. We can also see that they still have that area highlighted right there to the east of the Caribbean that now has a 10% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. As a matter of fact, they brought it back. This was the system that was closer to Africa a week ago and it has pushed westward, and now a little bit more convection has taken place, so they put it back with a code yellow. And we still have that other system closer to Africa right there to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands that we see tilted from southeast to northwest, which has us inferring that it's going to be staying in the waters of the Atlantic. So our main focus is on this system right here. So although it's kind of tilted northward to maybe infer that it might miss the Caribbean, we still have to pay close attention because remember Grace in 2021 was forecast to possibly move north, and it actually went due west and right over Jamaica. So we're not gonna be out of the woods until it has definitely passed to the north of Puerto Rico for sure. So let us keep close tabs on it. So let's focus our attention on this one, the one that has a 30% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. According to the Hurricane Center, a tropical wave moving quickly westward at about 20 miles per hour is producing a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms over Hispaniola and portions of the Central Caribbean Sea. Some development is possible late this week when the wave slows down over the northwestern Caribbean Sea, or early next week over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. And we see that they've given it a 0% chance of cyclone formation within the next 48 hours, that's the next 2 days, and a 30% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. If we take a look here, we can see that other system that the Hurricane Center states is located about 1,000 miles east of the Lesser Antilles and is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Development of this system, if any, is expected to be slow to occur over the next couple of days while it moves west-northwestward at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Environmental conditions are expected to become unfavorable for additional development by the end of the week. And with that, they've given it a 10% chance of cyclone formation within the next 2 days, that's the next 48 hours, and a 10% of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. And we're going to be focusing our attention on what the supercomputer models are showing. We're just going to be going out to the next, let's say 48 hours, if not 72 hours. We're going to be looking at the timestamp right here at the top, and we're going to be focusing our attention right here across the Caribbean to see what it does. So we can see the moisture already to the southeast of Jamaica, to the south of Haiti, to the southwest of Puerto Rico. We're just going to be going out a little in time to see exactly what unfolds. So as we head into Wednesday, look at this. This is 12Z on Wednesday, which is actually 7 a.m. on Wednesday, and we can see the greens represent the moisture associated with the tropical wave starting to come into portions of Jamaica as we continue to go out in time. This is 1 p.m. by Wednesday on Jamaica time. We see the darker greens across portions of the island. As we head into Thursday, this is 12Z on Thursday, which is actually 7 a.m. on Thursday. We still see the moisture associated with that tropical wave. And then by the time we head into Friday, we see more whites than anything else. Most of the moisture associated with the tropical wave, according to the Euro model, should be right there off to the southwest or the west of the island. Let us see what the GFS is showing for the same time period. So we can see that by 18th on Wednesday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Wednesday, we see the moisture associated with the tropical wave to the east and the south of the island. As we continue to go out in time, we see the moisture by 18th on Thursday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Thursday, across the island, and especially after the south and west of there, we see these darker greens and yellows, even some reds in there that represents up to what, 5-6 inches of rainfall or more. And then we see that by Friday, majority of it should be out of here, but we can't rule out some isolated spot getting in on some rainfall still, some lighter shades of greens, but we see the brunt of the rainfall should be off to the west of the island by Friday. And if we take a look at the accumulated precipitation forecast for the next 72 hours, the Euro is still more robust with the most in the way for rainfall, especially across the waters to the east of Jamaica, where we see the darker reds that represent up to 2 inches of rainfall, the purples that represents up to 3 inches of rainfall. By the way, keep in mind that these maps, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS, are both showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 12Z on Friday, which is actually 7 a.m. on Friday. And we can see Euro definitely more robust with the darker reds and the purples, especially across eastern Jamaica. GFS not as robust. We see most of the rainfall off to the south and southwest of the island. That's where most of the rainfall should be out to sea. But we do see some reds and we see some oranges, so there's definitely some rainfall in the forecast. According to what the Hurricane Center is showing on their Atlantic tropical weather discussion, yes, they have a tropical wave highlighted across the eastern tropical Atlantic, a central tropical wave, a central Atlantic tropical wave right there. And we see they also spoke about the central Caribbean tropical wave. So they stated here that a central Caribbean tropical wave has its axis near 72 degrees west from 20 north southward, moving westward near 15 to 20 knots. Scattered moderate and isolated strong convection is noted from 14 degrees north to 19 degrees north, between 65 degrees west and 77 degrees west. This system is expected to move westward, and a tropical depression could form when it reaches the western Caribbean Sea and the southwestern Gulf of Mexico late this week or over the weekend. And if we take a look at what they're stating regarding the Caribbean Sea's forecast, they stated also a locally tighter pressure gradient near the tropical wave is supporting fresh to strong winds over the waters south of Hispaniola. So they're basically stating that the winds are going to be stronger, especially where we have that tropical wave. And it's also kicking up the wave heights up to 5 to 6 feet in range. Moderate to fresh winds are found over the northeast Caribbean, where seas of 5 to 6 feet are noted. Gentle to locally moderate winds and seas of 2 to 3 feet are over the western Caribbean. Gentle to moderate winds and seas of 3 to 5 feet are noted elsewhere. For the forecast, the tropical wave will continue moving westward, and a tropical depression could form when it reaches the western Caribbean late this week. Thunderstorms, strong winds, and rough seas will accompany this wave in the north central and northwestern Caribbean this week. So Jamaica is definitely going to be getting in on some of the action associated with the tropical wave. And if we take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic, we can see the tropical wave right here represented by this orange line, the central Atlantic tropical wave right here, and the eastern Atlantic tropical wave right here across the Cabo Verde Island. And we can see the ridge of high pressure right here to the north that we know is responsible for sending all of these entities from east to west across the main development region into the Caribbean, all courtesy of that easterly flow. And we can also see a frontal system and a trough that has induced across a portion of the southeastern United States and the Gulf of Mexico. And if we take a look back at the visible satellite images, we can see all of these entities being made out. The frontal system intertwined with the trough. We still have the leftover clouds associated with that system that the Hurricane Center was watching across the northwestern Gulf of Mexico. We can see the tropical wave. Look at the cloud showers and thunderstorms associated with the tropical wave, especially to the south of Puerto Rico, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. And all of this is headed towards Jamaica, so we're definitely going to be getting in on a lot of activity. As a matter of fact, we can see it even better on the rainbow satellite images. Look at the convection associated with it. as represented by the yellows, oranges, reds. Lots of bad weather definitely taking place as we speak to the south of Hispaniola, and it's headed our way. We can also make out the other tropical waves, that one right here across the central Atlantic and the other one right here closer to Africa. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Tuesday, September 3, 2024. It was stated that parts of eastern Jamaica would have received some morning rainfall, and then rainfall would have also affected sections of central and western Jamaica during Tuesday afternoon. And we know eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey. So Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. Central parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex. So St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Catherine. While western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, such as Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. And what ended up happening? As early as around 7:30 a.m., the Cuban Doppler radar images were posted, and they highlighted the greens and the yellow colors across eastern Jamaica for sure, coming into portion of St. Thomas and Portland, maybe even spilling into sections of St. Mary too. So we definitely had that morning rainfall this Tuesday. And by the way, keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica, but they're made on our Instagram page. Doesn't seem to want to show us the handles. There we go. Also posted on our Instagram page at Weather.Jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there, as we may post throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So the visible satellite image was posted at around 1:06 p.m. highlighting the clouds. Look at the clouds right there, especially across southwestern Jamaica. We definitely had some isolated showers across section of Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and Westmoreland at that time. And look at the thunderstorms associated with the tropical wave already coming into view right there off to the southeast of the island. Definitely gonna be a bad situation starting tonight into Wednesday. And if we take a look at the last post that was made at around 3:25 p.m., we can see what the infrared satellite image was displaying. Definitely had those high cold cloud tops as represented by the blues, greens, yellows, oranges, reds, and the blacks, not to mention the sparkling white dust that we know represents some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. So we definitely had the cumulonimbus clouds bringing some thunderstorms to portions of Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine for sure, and we saw the thunderstorms right there up to the south and east of the island too. If we take a look here at what was taking place throughout the day today, we can see that we definitely had more of an easterly, kind of an east-northeasterly low-level flow across the island. If you look closely, especially right here, that was what prompted most of the air to be piling up across especially south central and southwestern Jamaica today. And then we had that diurnal convection for sure. We definitely have confirmation from some of our followers about the weather in their area today. Forestry_collection stating raining in Prospect, Manchester, and a little breezy. That was 3 hours ago. Karin Spencer 1 stating Goshen in St. Elizabeth is getting rain heavily. And we even had vodka_ and _5 stating get little rain not too long, and then boops, the sun come out 1 hour ago. But we didn't have much in the way of rainfall across the corporate area. This is the live cam from Crossroads in St. Andrew, and it showed 2:50 p.m. and we saw that it was a mostly sunny day in general, not much in the way of afternoon rainfall at all across that portion of the parish. Persons going about their business, not much in the way of bad weather at all. But look at that. Look at the hills of St. Andrew. We can actually make out some rain to the north of there. So they definitely got some rainfall up there, closer to the hills for sure at that time. So I guess down on the flat didn't get much rain, but that's normal. It's nothing new. By the way, if you'd like to see more live streams like this, you can visit See Jamaica's YouTube channel. They show live streams of Halfway Tree as well, the Kingston Harbor, the Bogwalk Gorge, you name it. And if you take a look at the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours, from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, we can definitely make our way had the rainfall today, especially across south central and southwestern Jamaica. And we can also see that rainfall passing to the south of St. Thomas to signify what was happening this afternoon right there. And if we take a look right now at what's happening, the latest satellite image at that. So the latest image should have just came out. Let's see, the last one was about 35 minutes past the hour, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Alright, so this is the latest one. It just came out at 6:55 p.m. and we can definitely see some clouds off to the southwest of the island, some high level clouds off to the east of the island. Let us see if we can match all of what we just saw on the latest Cube and Doppler radar images. So look at that. Some of the rainfall that was associated with this cloud, let's look back. The rainfall that was associated with this cloud coming in from the east came into portion of St. Thomas this evening. Look at that. We can see the rainfall is represented by the greens, the yellows, the moderate to heavy rainfall coming into portion of that parish. And that was as of, let's say, about 7:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 6:10 p.m. Jamaica time. So they definitely got in on some evening rainfall. But for right now, everything has cleared out. The latest image just came out at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 7 p.m. Jamaica time. As a matter of fact, look at that. We can see some more rainfall starting to pop up right there off to the south of St. Thomas, as well as across eastern St. Thomas. And we can also see the rainfall out right there off to the south and west of the island, associated with what we just saw on the latest infrared satellite image. And if we take a look at the Guantanamo Bay radar, not seeing much taking place. Some rainfall across western Cuba associated with the tropical wave. Western Haiti, not Western Cuba. We see southeastern Cuba right here on the Guantanamo Bay military radar. And we can also see some rainfall right there to the east of St. Thomas. That must have been the rainfall that we just saw on the latest Cuban Doppler radar images. But look at this. This is the latest Cayman radar. We can see some rainfall right there to the west of the island, just like how we just saw on the Cuban Doppler radar images and the latest satellite images. We can also see some isolated shores right there to the west and to the south of the Cayman Islands. And if we take a look at the latest Barbican camera, let's see what's going on in Barbican. Not much taking place. Just like what we saw in the infrared satellite images and the Doppler radar images. Not much in the way of bad weather taking place at all across that area. Definitely dry. They're going to be seeing the stars out tonight for sure. If we take a look at the wave, well, not the wave, the temperatures right now, we can say we're 20. Let's see if we can reload these images, because I doubt it's still 30 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, considering that the sun is down. Alright, so there we go. 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 28 degrees Celsius in Kingston. That's the temperatures right now. And I want for you to keep in mind that over the next 48 hours I'll be traveling, so I'm gonna be showing 2-day forecast. So usually I just show 1-day forecast. So I would have normally showed, considering that today is Tuesday, I would have normally showed the Wednesday forecast, but I'm also going to be showing the Thursday forecast. So I'm going to be traveling within the next 48 hours. So if there are posts that are missing, that's the reason. Either way, this is the temperature forecast for 4 a.m. on Wednesday. Montego Bay getting 27 degrees Celsius. Kingston getting 25 degrees Celsius. And this is the temperature forecast for 4 a.m. on Thursday. Montego Bay getting 25 degrees Celsius, Kingston getting 26 degrees Celsius. And if we take a look at the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday, this map from the GFS is showing 18Z on Thursday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Wednesday, not Thursday. And we can see Jamaica embedded in some gray colors, some slight yellows at the western end of the island. That represents average or normal to 1 degree Celsius above normal temperatures, more so the above normal temperatures across the western portion of the island. But with the tropical wave coming in, more average temperatures, and we can also see some blues right there to the south of Haiti to signal that the temperatures will be going down because of the tropical wave. So definitely average temperatures as well as some slightly above normal temperatures. And even into Thursday, this is valid for 18Z on Thursday, is actually 1 p.m. on Thursday. And for the most part, we're seeing average temperatures across the island for Thursday. And we know the average temperatures for the month of September across Jamaica are about 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about the same as 32.2 degrees Celsius. So it should be receiving anywhere from 32 to at least 33 degrees Celsius. More of the 33 or more should be across Western Jamaica for sure. We saw those yellows that represent above normal temperatures. If we take a look here at the Saharan dust forecast for both Wednesday and Thursday, we can see that Jamaica should be in the clear. Most of the dust associated with the Sahara Desert should be across Africa, stretching into the main development region as represented by these brown colors. And we see the vigorous plume right there, especially across Africa right there, that we know can cause very hazy skies and trigger somewhat of respiratory illnesses in some persons. If we take a look at the wave forecast for Wednesday and Thursday, it makes sense that the wave heights on a Wednesday are going to be even higher than Thursday, because we see the purples right there that represents a 2-meter wave height, especially across the waters in and around Jamaica. And that's because the winds are going to be stronger on Wednesday, averaging about 20 to 25, maybe even gusting to 30 knots in the yellows. That was what the Atlantic weather discussion on the Hurricane Center's website stated, because of the tight pressure gradient, especially with the mixture of the tropical wave. And we see the rest of the Caribbean getting on those greens that represent anywhere from 15 to 20 knots. And we can see the general flow coming in from the east, kind of curving northward with a kind of east-southeasterly tilt across the central Caribbean. We'll see how that goes either way. As it relates to what's being predicted for Jamaica, we see that Wednesday, an easterly flow, maybe kind of east-southeasterly tilting, with the winds averaging anywhere from 20 to 25, maybe even gusting to 30 knots in some spot. We see the air piling up across central and western Jamaica. And even on Thursday, we see the wind still coming from that direction from the east. Air is still going to be piling up across central and western Jamaica. That's where we're going to be having the least amount of winds. That's where the cumulus clouds are going to be mid-level rain clouds, if not upper-level cumulonimbus clouds. And if we take a look here at the actual rainfall forecast now, so we're just going to be showing the rainfall forecast for not only Wednesday but Thursday as well. As a matter of fact, we're starting from tonight, because look at this. This map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both valid for 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 10 p.m. Jamaica time tonight. And look at this, the Euro showing a lot of blues in and around Jamaica, off to the south and to the north of the island, especially across the eastern portions of the island. GFS showing something similar, so get ready for some night rainfall later on. Then, as we get into Wednesday morning, this is valid for 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 7 a.m. Jamaica time. We still see much of the same on the Euro. Rainfall hugging the north and eastern portion of the island. The GFS not as robust with that, but showing a lot of blues that represent rainfall across eastern Jamaica, so St. Thomas and Portland for sure. And then look at that, as we head into 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's actually 10 a.m. Jamaica time. Euro and the GFS engulfing most of central and eastern Jamaica. Look at those darker blues and even greens that represent a lot more rainfall. GFS not as enticed with central Jamaica, but showing the rainfall across southern and eastern Jamaica for sure. And then look at this. 4 p.m. on a Wednesday, we see the blues and the greens that represent rainfall stretching from the eastern to the western portion of the island. GFS not that robust with the eastern to the western portion of the island kind of thing, but we do see that there's consensus for some rainfall. Look at even that out to sea, the greens, oranges, reds, pinks. That's ridiculous rainfall. And let's even head as far as Thursday morning. This is valid for 5 a.m. on a Thursday, which is actually 4 a.m. Jamaica time. We see the blues that represent rainfall more so across eastern Jamaica. The Euro still has a lot of it in and around the island. GFS has a lot of it to the south of the island. And then we're just going to be skipping off towards the afternoon. This is valid to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 3 p.m. Jamaica time. GFS has a lot more rainfall across eastern, central, and western Jamaica by Thursday afternoon. Euro not as robust, but we do see some blues that represent rainfall across central and western Jamaica. We'll see how that goes. Either way, both accumulated precipitation forecast maps from now up until 0Z on Friday, which is actually from now up until 7 p.m. on Thursday. So these maps are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 7 p.m. on Thursday. And we can clearly see that the most in of rainfall should be especially across eastern Jamaica on both maps. GFS showing all the way up to 2 inches of rainfall with the burgundy colors across St. Thomas and Portland. Euro showing those purples and even some pinks in there. They represent anywhere from 3 to maybe even close to 4 inches of rainfall across eastern Jamaica. So there might just be some isolated flash flooding taking place in some spots. Definitely going to be a lot of rainfall in the forecast. Either way, we're indeed grateful as long as the rainfall doesn't cause too much damage, flooding whatsoever. We're in the month of September. During September in Kingston, we usually receive almost 100 millimeters of rainfall. During September in Montego Bay, we usually receive almost 7 inches of rainfall. That's almost 175 millimeters of rainfall, if I'm not mistaken. And keep in mind that you can do the math yourself, considering that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. And you can visit weatherandclimate.com to find out about what the rainfall is like in your specific parish. Alright, so that is it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we can see the clouds associated with the tropical wave doing a number on Hispaniola as we speak. Jamaica next in line. The clouds associated with that trough, as well as the frontal system right there off the east coast of the United States, affecting portions of the northern Bahamas, Florida, sections of Central America getting in on the bad weather as well. We can also see the clouds associated with some afternoon rainfall across sections of northern South America. Nothing new. And if we take a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean, let's see what's happening right now. So we can see some isolated shores, especially around the Leeward Islands, hit or miss for the most part, but the heaviest rainfall right there across the Dominican Republic to the southwest of Puerto Rico, some rainfall right there to the east and northeast of Puerto Rico as well. And if we take a look at the Barbados radar, we do see some isolated showers coming in from the northeast, maybe affecting section of Dominica, section of southern Dominica, that is, section of Martinique, section of St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines for sure, section of Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago getting on some of the rainfall too. And if we take a look at the weather with Doppler radar images, we can see some rainfall across sections of western Florida, sections of Cuba, the Yucatan Peninsula getting on some rainfall as we speak, northern Guatemala, section of Honduras. A lot of the rainfall right there on the ABC Islands Doppler radar, especially to the north of there. A lot of the rainfall on the Dominican Republic Doppler radar, especially to the south of there. Lots of rainfall definitely coming to Jamaica very soon. And if we take a look at the accumulated precipitation for the next 24 hours, well, not the next 24 hours at all. This is for the next 63 hours, considering that I'm not going to be able to post on Wednesday evening. This map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until about 1 a.m. on Friday on the GFS. Yes. Or the end of the day on Thursday, and we definitely see a lot of rainfall in store for especially the waters to the south of Haiti and Dominican Republic, south of Jamaica, south of Hispaniola. Some rainfall definitely in store for Puerto Rico, the Leeward and Windward Islands. We also see some rainfall in store for sections of Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, section of Guatemala, Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula, the Cayman Islands, Cuba, Florida, and the Bahamas. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus with this forecast. I know that when they're in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.